In this video, I'm going to show you how you can summarize data by the ranges that they fall within. In this example, I've got expense data where I've got name, vendor, and amount. And I want to group that data based on whether the transactions are less than $20, between $20 and $50, between $51 and $100, and more than $100. I want to count the number of transactions and total them as well. So this is not difficult to do in Excel, and I'm going to show you how we can set this up. The first thing I'm going to do, however, is to avoid hard coding a lot of values here. I'm going to insert another column here because I'm going to create another field for my criteria value. So I'm going to enter 20, 51, and 100. These are my key cutoffs for the values. The key reason being I'm going to reference these cells, and by doing so, it's going to make it more flexible if in the future I wanted to change these cutoff points. Because these values here in column F, these are basically my labels. This is what I want to be calling these classifications, but I can't actually use them in the formula because they are text values, because I've got greater than and less than operators, I've got dollar signs, I've got dashes. So I can't really use that in my criteria, in my formula, because they're going to read as text values. So I'm going to use column G instead. So to get started, I'm going to count up all the values in this data set that are less than $20, how many of them there are. To do that, I'm going to use the COUNTIF formula, and I'm going to look at this range in column D. And the key to making this work is when I go to the criteria argument, I'm going to, in quotation marks, use the less than operator, and then join the value in my criteria using the ampersand. And so I'm going to reference this value that I've got in G3, and then close brackets. So I'm referencing this value here, and so it tells me that there's 14 transactions that are less than $20. Now, because I just have a simple criteria here, I can also copy this formula and do the same thing for the value. In this case, I'm just going to turn this into a SUMIF calculation. So it says I've got 14 transactions worth $151.22. So let's check if this is correct. So I'm going to click on my data set, go to the data tab, get my filter, and look for values that are less than $20. So I should have 14 of them. And down here I've got 14, and they total 151.22. So that is correct. So that's calculating correctly. Now, this next one is going to be a little bit trickier because now I've got a range. I'm not just looking for values that are less than $20. I'm looking for values between $20 and $50. So including $20 and up to and including $50 as well. So in this example, because I've got multiple criteria, I want to use the COUNTIFs function with an S. So my criteria range is still going to be column D because that's going to be what I'm adding up. And now for my criteria, again, I'm going to use the quotations, and this time I'm going to use greater than or equal to, close that, and then ampersand reference that value in G3, my criteria, which has the $20, because in this example, I had less than, so here I want to have greater than or equal to. It's important when you're using operators that you're not overlapping your criteria, so it doesn't end up being counted twice in two different buckets. So I've got that criteria, so it's looking at values that are greater than or equal to 20, but I also want to add an additional criteria, again, looking at column D, and then this time I'm going to use the less than operator to say less than the value that I've got in G4, which is $51. So I want to make sure it's less than $51. So I've got that. So now it's telling me there's 29 of these transactions. I'm going to copy this over to my value field, but this time converting this to a SUMIFs isn't going to work perfectly. I'm going to have to make an adjustment here because the reason being the SUMIFs has the sum range and the criteria range before getting into the criteria. So I have to reference column D one more time because that's all my criteria. It's all in that one area. So I'm looking to sum up the values in D based on also the values in D. So that's why I'm referencing it twice. So just because of the setup for the SUMIFs formula, I have to put that in twice. So now I've got 29 transactions totaling 1067.78. So let's check now if my criteria is correct. So greater than or equal to 20, but less than 51. So let's go here. And so in this case, we're going to use the number filters between. So we're going to say greater than or equal to 20 and then only less than 51. So that's the key thing. We want to make sure our operators are correct. So 29 transactions totaling 1067, and we got 29 transactions totaling 1067. So that is correct. So that can be the most challenging part in setting up this criteria, is making sure you don't have that overlap and you're correctly setting up these greater than or less than operators. And now because of the way I've set up these formulas, I can easily just drag these formulas down to my next set of criteria between 51 and 100, because it's looking at 51 and 100. So this is the benefit of using values in this criteria field, where I can reference them, and it makes it easy to copy these formulas down. So now between 51 to 100, it's looking at greater than or equal to 51, but less than 100. So in this case, I have 40 transactions totaling $3,032. And so let's check the filter option one more time just to make sure we're getting that same value. So I'm going to select number filters between. So in this case, we're looking at greater than or equal to 51, but less than 100. So if I select all these values, I can see I've got 40 transactions totaling $3,032.38, which is what I've got there. So that is correct. My last value here, my last criteria, is values that are over $100. Now, the one thing that I need to change is actually need to change this to greater than or equal to. Otherwise, I potentially might miss transactions that are exactly $100, because here I was going up until less than 100. So here I need to include greater than and equal to 100, just to make sure I'm capturing absolutely everything. So now for my COUNTIF and SUMIF calculations, I have to do this slightly differently, because I don't have multiple criteria. I'm just looking for values that are greater than or equal to $100. This actually makes it easier. I only have to use the COUNTIF function to say, look at column D. And what I'm going to do now is, for the criteria, use greater than or equal to ampersand and then the value in G5. And now when I do that, it's going to count the number of transactions, and I can copy this over. And just like I did in the first case, replace the COUNTIF with a SUMIF. The arguments are in the same sort of format, so it's easy to copy this over. So now let's check values that are greater than or equal to $100. So let's put that filter back on, and then greater than or equal to $100. So we've got a total of 65 transactions totaling $9,574.69, which is what I've got here. Another thing we can do is also just double check that we've got everything accounted for. So go to the Home tab. Let's just quickly do an auto sum here for our total value and for the total number of transactions. So 148 transactions totaling 13,826. If I select all of column D, it shows me 148, my numerical count, and 13,826.07. So I've got everything accounted for in here. And that's always what you want to check when you're dealing with greater than or less than operators, just to make sure that there's not any gaps in your logic, that you're missing out values because you forgot to include an equals operator, or you've got greater than but not less than set up properly. So you want to make sure that you've got those ranges properly set up. But if you do, you can see it's not really hard to set this up in Microsoft Excel, because all you're doing is just using those COUNTIFs and SUMIFs calculation. And the key thing to remember is just to put those operators in quotation marks and link the values with the ampersand. Now, if you're hard coding values, you obviously don't need to do this. You could just type in greater than or equal to 35 and put that all in quotes, or greater than or equal to less than or equal to 20, whatever the case may be. Put that all in quotes. But by doing it, by linking to cells, it can make it a lot easier to update your data and make changes if you decide to go with different ranges and cutoff points. So that's how you can set this up in Excel to make sure you're grouping your data and analyzing it based on your ranges. And this can work for sales and whatever other numerical values you want to track. So that's all right for this video. If you did like it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.